In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers lived a man named Aarav. On the outside, he looked calm, like any other villager, but inside, his mind was a whirlwind. Every day, Aarav was consumed by negative thoughts. It didn't matter if he sat quietly under a tree or tried to stay busy. His mind wouldn't stop spinning. Thoughts of past failures, fears about the future, regrets, comparisons, anxieties. They followed him like a shadow. No matter how much he tried to push them away, the thoughts came back stronger. He couldn't focus on his work. His sleep was restless. He began to wonder if he would ever feel peace again. One morning, feeling completely overwhelmed, Aarav decided to seek help from a Zen monk living in the forest nearby. "Master," Aarav said after bowing, "I don't know what to do. My mind is always full of noise. No matter how hard I try to stay calm, these thoughts just keep coming. They're ruining my days and my nights." The monk looked at him with kind eyes and said, "Ah, then it's time to meet someone who may be of help. Go stay with my old friend, another monk who lives a little deeper in the mountains. Stay with him for a few days, watch him, learn from him. He won't speak much, but you'll find what you need." Grateful but confused, Aarav left to find the second monk. The monk he met was warm and welcoming. He lived in a small hut, barely big enough for two, no decorations, just a bed, a shelf, and a few clay pots. Aarav spent his days observing the monk's simple life, waking at dawn, sweeping the floor, boiling water, tending to a tiny garden. Nothing seemed extraordinary, but one thing caught Aarav's attention. Every night, before sleeping, the monk would wash all his pots thoroughly, and every morning, even though the pots were already clean, he would wash them again. To Aarav, this felt strange. He watched it happen for several days, each night, washing. Each morning, washing again. The same pots. Finally, curiosity won. "Master," Aarav asked one morning, "why do you wash the pots again in the morning, when they're already clean from the night before?" The monk smiled. "Because during the night," he said, "dust may settle. Tiny insects might crawl. Maybe the wind brings in pollen or ashes from the fire. I cannot see all of it, but I clean anyway, not because it's dirty, but because I want to begin the day fresh." Then he looked into Aarav's eyes. "Your mind," he said softly, "is like these pots." Aarav stared at the monk, stunned. "Every day, thoughts come and go," the monk continued. "Some stick, some hurt. You may try to clear them at night, but they come back in the morning. That doesn't mean you're broken. It just means you must clean, daily." "And how do I clean my mind?" Aarav asked, almost whispering. The monk replied, "With meditation. Before bed, sit quietly. Watch your thoughts. Let them rise and pass. And in the morning, sit again. Reset your mind before the world fills it up again." "It won't happen in one night," he added, "but practice. One day you'll see. Your thoughts won't control you anymore. You'll begin your days lighter, clearer." From that night on, Aarav meditated before sleep, not for hours, just 10 quiet minutes. He sat, he breathed. Some nights, his thoughts were still noisy. Some nights they calmed. In the mornings, he did the same. It felt strange at first, but soon he began to notice a difference. The anger didn't last as long. The worries didn't sting as sharp. His sleep deepened. His breath became slower. He started feeling free. Today, many of us are like Aarav. We're not weak, we're just overwhelmed. Our minds are flooded with notifications, comparisons, fears, and doubts. We try to sleep them off, but by morning, the dust has settled again. The answer isn't to run, it's to clean. Clean your mind at night, so you can rest. Clean your mind in the morning, so you can see clearly, not once, not when life gets too much, but every day. Like washing dishes, your mind deserves the same care. Meditation isn't a ritual, it's hygiene, emotional hygiene. Aarav never became a monk. He didn't move to the forest, but he brought the lesson home. Every night, clean, every morning, reset. And over time, people began to notice the calm in his eyes, not because he had no problems, but because he had learned to empty the dust before it became dirt. Now, let us all remember, even a clean pot collects dust. Even a wise mind needs a reset. Begin and end your day with peace. Months turned into years. Aarav's practice became as natural as breathing. He no longer fought his thoughts. He watched them, released them, and focused on the present. Word of his transformation spread through the village. People came to him for advice. He didn't preach. He didn't act like a teacher. He simply listened and told them what the monk told him. Clean your mind every day. Eventually, he started holding quiet morning sessions under the old tree by the river. No posters, no announcements, just a space to sit and breathe. The villagers began joining, young and old. The silent circle grew, and without trying, Aarav had become what he never intended to be, a teacher. One early morning, a little boy named Leo sat beside Aarav. "Sir," Leo whispered, "what if the dust never stops coming?" Aarav smiled and pointed to the sunrise. "Then we keep cleaning," he said. "The goal is not to stop the dust. It's to never let it pile so high that we can't see the light." Leo looked at the sky, and for the first time, truly noticed its color. That morning, they didn't speak much, but a seed was planted, a seed of awareness, of peace. And from that moment on, the lesson lived on, passed not by words, but by presence. Aarav had become the pot washer, quiet, consistent, steady. And through his stillness, the whole village slowly began to shine. As Aarav's teaching spread, some of the villagers came to him with more questions. A young mother asked, "What if I don't have time to meditate twice a day?" Aarav gently smiled. "Then do it once. If not for 10 minutes, then for 2. The point is not how long, it's that you show up for yourself. Even one deep breath can begin the cleaning." He began sharing more tools. Gratitude journaling, evening walks without devices, watching the moon, all simple, all calming, all part of cleaning the inner world from the dust the outer world throws. Years passed. Aarav grew older, slower, but his eyes never lost their light. One evening, sensing his time was near, he gathered the villagers under the banyan tree. He said, "I have no riches to leave behind, no grand teachings to repeat, just this reminder. When you wake, clean your thoughts. When you sleep, empty your burdens. Between those two, live kindly." He paused, then added, "And when life feels heavy, remember, even the heaviest pot is still just a pot. Wash it, wipe it, use it again." That night, Aarav slept peacefully and did not wake again. But every dawn in that village, people still sit quietly, just breathing, just cleaning. And so, Aarav lives on. Subscribe to Stay Inspired 86 for more mindful stories that bring calm to your chaos.